In this video, I will show you how to create an amazing, fantastic Google site using Google Sites, or should I have said website using Google Sites. Whatever, this may go ahead and make a website. Right, okay, let's click on the little app button, which I've already done, to see if the Google Sites shortcut is there, which it's not, so you will need to add it. Go down to even more from Google, and then press Command F or Control F to look for sites, and it should be near the bottom. And then once your internet, which is hopefully quicker than mine, you'll see all the icons. Click on it. Okay, so if it's your first ever website on here, you'll get the tutorial. I have created a few, so I'm getting this little guy here, the smiley pixelated 8-bit face. So we're going to ignore him and click on Create New Site. So this will take you to the first Google site page that you've come across. There was an older program that Google had. It reminded me of Yahoo's GeoCities from several years ago. And they updated this Google site sometime late 2017, I think, maybe before that. But certainly I used it then. In fact, late 2016, because I used it with some of my year 8s last year. Okay. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to teach you how to do this through what I got those guys to do. So first of all, I got them to put in their name, so Mr. D, and then at the school. So we'll just put at school there. It could be your school name. And then that should populate the title down here. And then we can obviously give this a title. Now, for my students, we call ours a digital portfolio because that's where they link up all the work from right across school. So every subject, I try to get them to link evidence, but they'll definitely talk about their learning in different subjects. So digital portfolio it is. Next, before we start designing, adding things and so on, we'll get the boring stuff out of the way. So we'll go into publish, which must be done when you want to publish your website for people to view it. And it's kind of giving you the URL, which you can share. However, when I teach this with the students, we want to do it in a protected environment. So at the minute, anyone can view it, which is something I don't want to do. So I'm going to manage that. I'm going to change it to where it says anyone can find and view. So I'm going to change that to specific people. Now, I'll just point this out. If you are creating a Google site using your school's email address, you'll get a different setting to anyone in the organization. I'm actually making this from my personal email account, so I don't have that option. But yes, just to keep it safe for the students, keep their personal information, only sharing the personal information within the community, get them to set it to this. The problem is, of course, they can change it at any time themselves, but we have to give some trust. Anyway, so I'm going to save that. So now only specific people at the minute, which is only me. After that, and after every time you make a change to your website, you must press publish. Like so. And it's going to publish it there. And something I get them to do as well is just to view it. So click the preview button, just to see what it would look like from a user's point of view. Interesting at the bottom as well, Google have been really helpful here and put in 3 icons, one for a phone, smartphone, tablet, and desktop. According to Google, more than 1/3 of all internet activity, or maybe it's 2/3, is done through a mobile device, i.e. smartphone. Not necessarily a tablet, but a mobile. So it is really important to see what it looks like on that. You've also got your iPad or tablet view, and then finally desktop. So I would get the students to look at that regularly when they're testing to see how their content looks on different devices. Cancel that. Next, let's have a look at changing let's change the theme, which is a common theme across all website editors that I've used, from Dreamweaver back in the day to Weebly to WordPress. Anything I've used so far will always have this option. So we'll go into themes. So you can choose your color, select your own if you want. I'm colorblind, so I'm going to let Google do the work for me here. Font style, you always have, no matter what theme, it's light, classic, and heavy. So I'm going to go for heavy, and I'm going to go to Vision, purely because I watched Avengers yesterday, and Vision had quite a bit role in it. You can also change your image after that. I mean, the theme will give you one, but feel free to choose your own. So select image. And this is really awesome. But again, quite consistent across all website editors. You'll have a different selection of things that you can put in. You may have noticed there was this little adjusting for readability, which is pretty cool. It's Google just making changes to the text in the background, making it so that the user can see what the text says. And once you're happy with that, I mean, you don't have to, you can change if you want, but once you're happy with it, we can move on to the next part. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the insert menu and just look at the top here. We've got the four main areas or four main things that we can insert, which is text box, images, uploading, and embedding. Text box speaks for itself, really. When you click on it, it will bring up a text box here, and then you've got your different sizes, bold, italic, alignment, and so on. Then you've got images, which we've already used for the header, if you remember. So again, search, albums, and Google Drive. Embed code, so on some websites, for example, Padlet, if you were to make a Padlet with your class, you do have an option of copying their embedding code, and then you could paste it into here. And finally, upload, which is just obviously uploading files, images, videos, music, whatever. I mean, that's all covered under files, of course, but yeah, that's the basic ones there. Then you've got an aesthetic one, which is components for divider, Google Drive, so you can insert files from Google Drive, your Google embeds, so you want to embed a YouTube video, calendar, or map, and then finally the Google Docs. We'll talk about that later, actually, Google Docs. Okay, so let's get stuck in. Now, what I get my students to do is to create a homepage for their digital portfolio. Normally, you might find this on the About Us page on other websites, but this is a little bit different. So I'm going to put in About Me. But that's normal text. Now, this is not what you would normally use here. Certainly wouldn't use, well, maybe you would use title actually, but I'm going to go for heading. I'm also going to center that, and I'm going to change the color. So you'll always have three styles: standard, emphasis 1, emphasis 2, and then the fourth one is the image which you can put in. So I'm going to go for emphasis 1, and then below that I'm going to put an avatar maker for that, which is a 5-minute lesson within itself, and the kids love it. They get to create an avatar based on what they think they look like. Sometimes they will take liberties with it, obviously, but yeah, I get to create one there. Once they're finished with that, they can then download it. I get them to download it as a PNG portable network graphic, 400 by 400, which they save to their desktop and then upload it. And I've already done this, Blue Peter style. So let's go ahead and upload it. So if I just click on images, sorry, I'm not clicking images, I'll click on upload. And yeah, you can see I've made it earlier. And just click open, and it'll pop it in just below About Me.